bitch.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst. We're gonna jump back into the level 200 grind on Aphinia, so let's get on with it. The music got cursed there for a second. Oh shit, I forgot about the first ad. Oh shit, I forgot about the okay, I had to make sure the audio's piping through. So we're what? One level, or level 192 at 271 hours in, right? I think I saw that right? Find out. Yeah. Remember at the beginning? I was actually almost going, even after doing the, even after playing through the entirety of the story, once I started doing dragon loops, serial, I was almost 1-to-1 with my level and my playtime in terms of hours. I almost caught up. Like, I think it was when I was still like around level 90 to 100 or something. I was almost at like 90 to 100 hours. So it was almost like an hour per level. Even though I spent like the first, well, must have been like 20 to 30 hours doing the story, moving very slowly, right? And now it's the complete opposite. Like, this is how exponentials work. They say it's something the human mind can't actually comprehend. Like, you can understand it on paper logically, but then when you start to see it in practice, it always just kind of blows your mind a little bit. You're just like, what happened? Might be the reason why people underestimate the power of compounding interest in high yield savings accounts. Maybe. No.
Bruh.
We're talking finances tonight. I'm just kidding. That was just the nearest example I could think of. Well, at least one that isn't doom and gloomy and scary like global warming, because that's another exponential. We're not gonna get into that though. But that is another example that technically works. It is an exponential change. It's on a curve. Anyway. The higher it goes, the faster it gets higher. What an exponential curve looks like. That's how it works. The formula x squared. Anyway, I just realized I forgot to pull up the fucking music. I'm ill-prepared. What else is new, right?
Bruh. Look at this dude.
Let's see, where were we? Pretty sure it was this playlist. That wasn't where we were, though. This one. Yeah, we were on X5. Alright. Go! Damn. Down. You know what? I don't know if we heard the other one or not yesterday, but I'm gonna rewind it because that one's a good one. The one that just like finished as soon as I clicked back into the video or whatever. I'm gonna go back to that one actually. Oh well, of course, it's X versus 0. Why wouldn't it be good? They had to make it epic boss fight music, you know? There it is. Speaking of variable formulas like x squared, x versus 0, a variable versus a 0. By mathematical terms, that's like infinity multiplied by 0. Technically, 0 should always win, right? Just destroy everything. That's what makes the fight between them so dramatic. Reploid with infinite potential versus one with infinite destructive power. You can tell I really enjoy the math metaphor that they use for the X series. The Mega Man X series. Oops, shit. Music. The most interesting Sigma boss fight music they made in the series up to this point. Like, that part sounds so, like, heroic and epic, you know? It's just like... I don't know how to describe it, really. Just, like, a little over the top. Just slightly over the top. Maybe just over the top in the wrong kind of way. Because if you listen to the X6 final boss fight music, you know, that's fucking going ham. But it actually, you know, feels good to listen to. Like, it feels like it feels epic in the right way, you know? This one feels like they were trying to, like, they were grabbing at straws to try to make it sound epic. Sounds a little forced. It's just kind of a weird vibe. Right here, especially this part. Probably also doesn't help that his compared to the boss fight in X6, he just sounds a little, sorry, no, I'm talking about the actual gameplay. Compared to the X6 boss fight against Sigma, this one's, I feel like there's not a whole lot going on. Not as, Not as epic by comparison, I suppose. Then again, I always did find the X6 boss fight a lot easier though, I think. I might be misremembering, but... Dude, I legitimately zoned out. I didn't even realize that that I'd already killed the guy. I zoned out thinking about something hard right there. I was just like... almost gone, dude. I was gone for a minute. Like somewhere else. Like, did I turn off the stove today? That's basically what just happened. I think long and hard about it. Anybody who uses this stream as a chill, like, background second monitor kind of thing, you know, like most streams, but this one in particular is designed for that. Probably had to, like, pause and see what the hell just happened. They're like, what? Pause and rewind. Oh shit, no. Now I actually have a legitimate reason I gotta pause for a second. Alright, I'm not gonna BRB, I'm right here, but I just need a second. To take me meds. My meds, man, I'm popping pills!
What? What the fuck? You bastard!
This is melatonin. There we go. The feels, the Sag moments at the end. said that what was supposed to be the finale for the X series ended up... The game that was supposed to be the finale, X5, ended up being the one with the lowest budget. Kinda sucks. It was like X4 had fully animated scenes, like they had actual anime scenes in the game, you know? X5 did not. X4 was fully, well, for those scenes that I just mentioned, you know, had full voice acting and even an English dub. X5, no voice acting outside of the normal, like, battle grunts in the game. But that's it, there was no voice acting outside of that. And those are all, like, reused from X4 anyway. So yeah, no voice acting, no dub, nothing. The cutscenes were just a slideshow of images. Sad, man. Even X6 stuck to that too. Didn't bring back the animated scenes from X4. But that one still had a little bit more, had a little bit more love put into it. A little. At least in the music department, definitely, like a lot, but... It's an all-around good game, actually. It's definitely an upgrade from X5. It gives a feeling similar to X4, like a proper sequel, like an actual better version, you know? Like they improved on it. X5 doesn't really give that feeling that much. X5 I feel gives me the same feeling that NGS does compared to PSO2 Classic. Good story, but it's too rushed. Or just, even if it's not, it feels that way. X4 and X6 I feel take their time telling the story a little bit better. We take those. I gotta finish chugging that water before it gets any later. I wanna be getting up 3 times a night to take a piss. He's not gonna hit the streets, Jim. He's my age, for God's sakes. And I get up 3 times a night to take a piss. Again, my obscure references. That is actually not a video game quote for once, though. A quote from a movie called The Rock. If I remember correctly. From the 90s, with Sean Connery. Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. Now that was just from a YouTube video where somebody said his name like that. Yeah, Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. The biggest portion of the movie takes place in Alcatraz. Not the, you know, alligator one that Trump set up in Florida, no. The actual original one from San Francisco. Again, I really have to wonder where they were going to use this. This is an unused track from X5. You know where I feel like they were going to use this? Oh wait, that's X6. Never mind. I was thinking of a cutscene from X6. No, never mind. I have no idea. Maybe they had originally planned an alternative happy ending for X5. And this song was going to be for that. But then they just said... KG Inafune said, nah. I want it to be as tragic as I envisioned it when I first started the series. Fuck it. A happy ending that never came. This is the music for it. I mean, it sounds like it, doesn't it? Yeah, this sounds like super happy ending music. But there is no such ending in X5. Yeah. This music is actually used in the, there's two different sad endings. There's two tragic ones. There's like a super tragic one and then like a regular tragic one. I won't go into it because of spoilers or whatever, but there is indeed a sad ending and a worse ending. I suppose the one that's less sad is, you know, you could call it bittersweet, I suppose. They try to give it a bit of a... They try to give it a bit of a feel-good sort of spin towards the very end of it, but still tragic. This one, though, this one is like, you really fucked up. Mega Man X, Episode 5. That's it for the X5 soundtrack, I think. Oh. Credits music, I think. Yeah. Can you get any more tragic than this? Tragic? Excuse me. How I became more sentimental and emotional in a lot of ways as I got older. Because when I first saw this ending as a kid, it was sad. Of course I was sad. But seeing it now, Jesus. I mean, I think even if I didn't show it that much, I'm pretty sure the last time I played X5 on stream, which was on stream, I choked up quite a bit. I think if the series had actually ended here, though, it would hurt more. The fact that Capcom executives decided to go against Keiji's vision and create an X6 behind his back, I think that kind of blunts it, since it undoes the tragic ending of X5. You know, the very next game just kind of undoes it all, so... The series had actually ended at 5. It'd be more tragic. Loot! Who's loot? We got peeps! Zoel! And this person found a red ring after defeating Dark Falls, apparently. Fish. You guys think this is someone we know? They seem to know about the fish. They look tasty. Uh-oh, somebody better get pizza made in here. Pizza made? Somebody's trying to eat your fish. I don't know who they are, but they're trying to eat your fish. That sounds funnier than it should sound. I'm gonna send this clip to Pete's Maid. I gotta make one now. Oh shit, okay, so now we're starting the X6 track, but I wanted to detour real quick. I know people are looking forward to the bangers from X6, but I'm gonna cuck y'all for a bit. I'm gonna blue ball everyone a little bit. Just a little. Because I wanted to detour right after X3, the last Super Nintendo Mega Man X game, to another banger soundtrack of a totally different franchise that isn't exclusively a video game franchise, but that was also on Super Nintendo. That also has an epic banger soundtrack. Very short, I promise. We'll get back to the X6 bangers in a second. We'll probably take the rest of this stream, the time we have left. But we'll for sure get through the entirety of it before the stream is over, I think. And then we'll be back to the X6 music next stream. It'll be tomorrow. Anyway, without further ado, here it is. I'll let you guess which franchise this is from. Oh yeah. You know it, baby. previewed it on an NGS stream already, but I said I was gonna play it when the next time I played Blue Burst. Thank goodness I remembered. Could have fed the mag, shit. Thinking, holy shit, this track right here goes hella hard. You know what it is? It's literally the character select menu. We need that meme, you know? I know I didn't show it on stream, I probably should have, but there's a meme that Lantis sent me about Donkey Kong Country soundtrack and David Wise. Same thing with this game. I gotta check the description and see if it's a composer or not, but they also went way too fucking ham for a Power Rangers game. But I love them for it. No, it doesn't say. So the meme, just to describe it, you know, the visual. I think, again, this is for Donkey Kong Country, but... Oh, shit. I worked to 75 so I can actually talk without screaming, having to scream over it. The meme has this dude on a beach, and it says, there's some text that says, remember, David, this is just a game about gorillas. You don't have to go that crazy. And then it shows David Wise, the composer, playing, it's just some random dude, obviously, but it labels him as David Wise. He's playing a piano on the beach, and it's on fire. Obviously insinuating that the music is, you know, fucking fire. Dude went way overboard. But we all love him for it. This soundtrack is pretty much the same thing. It's just a Power Rangers game, man. You don't have to... That dude was like... Hold my reasonable amount of water. Alright, here we go. First level. Still fucking in, man. I would normally say that one deserves a replay, but spoiler alert, the whole fucking soundtrack deserves several replays. So I can't just get stuck on one song or one track. The entire game's soundtrack kicks ass, man. Listen to this shit. shit, I went the wrong way. That's what I get for closing my eyes. Holy shit. Final stage. The cave. boss fight music. I think there was at least one boss per stage, and there was 5 stages. Yeah, there was this area 1 was the city, and there was a depot, a sewer, a building, and the cave. Those are the 5 stages of this game. I figured this one deserved at least one replay. Slightly shorter than the other ones, so. Final boss. Of course. It's basically just the main theme without the lyrics. The ending, yay! That dude was coming. Oh! What's this? Actual fucking metal is what it is. Get your air guitar out. Shot and didn't get hit by that.
bitch.
So for anyone that's curious, that was Go-Go Power Rangers, obviously. Redux by Ron Wasserman. Never heard of the guy, but he made a kick-ass track for the Power Rangers theme song, that's for sure. Alright, so the game soundtrack we heard before was the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo. The title theme that's playing now is for another Power Rangers game that came out for the Super Nintendo. Not long after, which was for the movie that starred Ivan Ooze as the main villain. It was literally called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. I saw that in theaters as a kid, believe it or not. And so, obviously this game has its own, you know, has its own soundtrack and maybe a different composer, I'm not sure. Got a slightly different style from the original Power Rangers video game soundtrack. And yeah, I'm not talking about the more modernish, more recent movie that came out like 10 years ago now. Not that recent, right? But you know what I mean. This was a much older movie that I think actually still just used the same cast members from the show. Yeah, it actually still, I'm pretty sure they still just use the same cast members from the TV show at the time. I don't even know what the movie that came out in like the 2010s or whatever, it must have been like mid 2010s or whatever, but I can't remember what that one was called. It might have just been called Power Rangers, I don't know. This one was just titled the same as the show, but just had the movie tacked on to the end of its title. Anyway, this is the video game soundtrack for that movie. Because they also made a game of it, obviously. Still on the SNES. Come on. Good to know it was topped off already. For some reason I thought it wasn't though. Oops, I put a space there. There. This is the character select screen music for this one. Alright, we'll probably wrap up after this. And I guess we'll start next stream with the soundtrack. I got reimbursed. For at least one of the star atomizers I threw away. I'll do one more run. Stage. This one also has 5 stages like the original game. Shopping center, aircraft carrier, frozen mountains, cargo train, energy generator lab, and surprise, surprise, I was wrong. There's actually 6. Mainframe center is the 6th one. It more or less loosely follows the plot of the movie, like most video games based on movies do. Anyway, like I said, we'll leave it at that. We will continue this some more tomorrow, which will be my... Well, I don't know yet, actually, but it might be one of my last streams at this scheduled time, because things are changing. I won't be able to tell you for sure until whatever stream, whenever I do my next stream after tomorrow. Unfortunately, this is I'm kind of in the dark right now. But, yeah, so we'll leave that for next time. That discussion will be sometime after Tuesday. Anyway, so for now, I'm done. So as always, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate the support across Twitch, YouTube, and any other platform I end up on. Please do remember to take care of yourselves, stay safe, and don't die. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. I gotta remember to click back into the game. Alright. Peace. Take it away, Vaughn. There you go.